Well, greetings everyone. Greetings coming to you this time from Adyar, where, as you know, the temperature ranges between hot, hotter, and hottest. We are just in the hotter period right now, but all in all, it's been quite comfortable. Wanted to bring you up to date on a couple of things. As you well know, this has been a fairly busy time with our World Congress, which occurred in Singapore just in this last month, but also we'll go back a month prior to that to our General Council meeting and strategic planning meeting, which was held in the Netherlands at the International Theosophical Center in Naarden. Probably many of you are aware that last year we held such a meeting that was focused on strategic planning specifically, brainstorming session, and putting together the sorts of minds that were there. We were quite prolific in terms of what was developed at that meeting. 40 projects that we wanted to focus our attention on. Over the course of the year between then and this year's meeting, we were able to refine it to 11 that we really wanted to focus on. I'll give you the website address where you can look at that on the TS Adyar website during the course of this video. But that meeting was quite good. We had members from 15 countries, general secretaries, and also other members who had been invited to attend. 30 people at that particular meeting. So I'll show you some sights and some things from that. Then, of course, it was our 11th World Congress that was held in Singapore. So for 2 years now, our fellow members in Singapore have been preparing for this moment. And prepare they did. Really, they left no stone unturned and made sure that it was a wonderful experience for everybody who attended. We're quite proud of our members in Singapore for the way they represented the Theosophical Society and the sense of brotherhood and unity and just plain friendliness that they conveyed to everybody that was there. In 11 World Congresses, this was the first to be held in Asia. And so I think it was a very good representation for the largest and the most populous continent in the world. So we'll show you some things about that. As always, I do hope that you enjoy these moments to visit with your fellow members around the world and look forward to your feedback. So at the end of June to July 4th, we had a General Council meeting combined with a strategic planning meeting at the ITC, the International Theosophical Center in Naarden. Meeting started on a Saturday with a presentation by Vic Hao Chin, a public presentation. In all, about 30 people were there from 15 different countries. I had an opportunity to consider a plan for the Theosophical Society. Some of the ideas had developed in the previous meeting at Naarden the year before. At that time, we came up with about 11 priority projects that were considered during the course of this meeting. We had members from the United States, from India, from the Philippines. We had our General Secretary from Germany, as well as the new and the youngest General Secretary from Finland, Jano. One of the difficulties of our General Council meetings in the past has been that they lasted really for only one day at the annual convention, international convention. This more extended period gave us a chance to actually think together, to spend time together, and to develop some of these critical ideas for the future of the TS. One of the members, Damon Scawthorne from England, produced this lovely video.
British English.
As creative and productive as the meeting was, we recognized that there was a great deal, months of preparation on the part of Manja Vandertoorn of the ITC. Also, a great deal of work was done by Aaron Heybroek, who is the chairman of the ITC, and also by Ingmar de Boer. During the course of the meeting, many key subjects were taken up. Among them were starting a new Theosophical school at Adyar, strategy for how to approach the Damodar Gardens property at Adyar, and also the very important work of finalizing a formal mission statement for the Theosophical Society. It has been in process for a year now. From August 4th until the 8th, we were in Singapore. Singapore is a remarkable city, extremely modern. Also, touches of the old city are there. It was the occasion of the 11th World Congress of the Theosophical Society, the very first one to be held in Asia, and our Singaporean members outdid themselves. A sea of purple greeted us on the first day, where they had taken to that uniform together. A great deal of preparation had gone into it. Richard Dvorak from Germany did all of our live streaming, along with members of the Theosophical section there in Singapore. We had great help also from George Wester from Australia, who plugs in wherever he can find something to help with, but has specific skills in video. So then it was time for registration, and after 2 years of preparation, finally the event kicked off. Our international secretary, Marja Artema, had done a huge amount of work preparing for this, and it did not stop. Background and foreground, she helped with this program from the very beginning. Sunny Chang, the president of the Singapore Lodge, opened the event, and then it was time for greetings from various sections throughout the Theosophical world. 25 countries were represented at the event, and each one had a chance to get up and give greetings from their members. After the greetings, I gave a brief inaugural address, and later, after Marcos de Resende's keynote address, a full-length talk. Marcos de Resende gave what I thought to be a brilliant keynote that set the tone for the meeting. During the course of this meeting, we had breakout groups, actually 6 of them, and they had a chance to consider a variety of different topics, many of them related to the work that was done at the ITC in Naarden. Specific projects such as the schools, centers, activating membership, various sorts of things were taken up within the group, feedback was given, and then it was shared with the total body later on during the course of the meeting. The meeting also had its entertaining evenings, so one that was hosted by the Singapore group was a multiracial, multi-ethnic presentation of some of Singapore's culture. So it featured mainly Chinese, and then also the Malay people, the Malay culture that has been there for many, many, many years. So the dances and performances from these different groups. Also, the Indian culture. The Indian group was strongly featured, and they were able to get everybody up on their feet as they instructed us in some Bhangra moves. So all in all, the evening's presentations were quite well received. We also had a chance to be with Theosophy World, the theosophical resource that has been put together by Richard Sell and John Vorstemans from the New Zealand section. It's a remarkable resource that has everything from audios to ebooks, all completely downloadable, all completely available. Theosophy World, you'll find it online, and this is something of the look of the page. So one of the most popular sections on this page is actually the ebooks, where they have many ebooks they have made available in digital form of theosophical writings and others, completely free, completely downloadable. So just an example of some of the things that are available there. It is an extremely valuable resource for the theosophical world. It was also my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Cassandra Vietens, president of ION's Institute of Noetic Sciences, who visited us online and gave a wonderful lecture on consciousness, communication, and change. She is one of the change-making leaders in the world of consciousness today. We also had short and long talks by Vice President Deepa Paddy, Linda Oliveira from the Australian section, the TOS International Secretary, Nancy Seacrest, none other than Pradeep Gohil of the Indian section. Lily Chong gave a wonderful talk. She's from the Singapore section. Clemisi Petter from Adyar. I know Ing from Malaysia, and Krista Umbaraj from France by way of Estonia. We also had a very well attended talk that took place off campus at the Language Center there in Singapore, downtown Singapore. And yet another night of a cultural presentation involved the Chinese opera, something that I had heard but knew very little about. So it was an educational as well as a performance evening. Quite a wonderful time. And on our last day of program presentations, Renee Sell from New Zealand moderated a question and answer panel. And the program closed with a talk by Vic Hao Chin on our work in the 21st century. And the final event was the closing of the World Congress, with Sunny Chang leading us. He had been given the ceremonial scarf brought to him from India. It was a wonderful dinner. Members from all of the different groups from Singapore mixed together and enjoyed the evening enormously. There was wonderful music provided by a member and his professional group, a gentleman by the name of Prakash, who you'll see in the picture on the left, who had called me to ask if he could do something special to open this night. After a ceremonial invocation, he delivered what he had composed as a musical rendition of O Hidden Life.
Oh, hidden light, vibrant in every atom. Oh, hidden light, shining in every creature. Oh, hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other.
Their musical presentation was quite diverse, and elements of it moved one of our youngest participants, in fact, the youngest participant at our World Congress, to express herself quite beautifully and spontaneously in dance, as only children can. Immediately following the TS World Congress, the TOS had its 5-year meeting. Because it occurred on National Day in Singapore, many of us dressed in red and white, the colors of the flag. Overall, the meeting was one where many, many new friendships were formed that will be lasting. Beautiful memories of Singapore and of our fellow members there, and of a work that we share. United around the globe with our differences, and yet all moving toward the unity, the oneness of humanity and the work we have to do in this world. It was a beautiful time, and Asia, and especially Singapore, really did us proud.
Oh, hidden light, vibrant in every atom. Oh, hidden light, shining in every creature. Oh, hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one